Welcome to another episode of Appalachian Shine. This is the official podcast for the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement. I'm your usual host, JC, and today we have a guest that joins us from down at the Family Crisis Services Center in Norton, Virginia. We have Angel Mefford. Angel, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, you work there at the Crisis Center as a victim services supervisor. And
Yes.
how long have you been there with the Family Crisis Org?
I've been at this organization 7 years, a little over
Okay,
7.
so one of the reasons I wanted to reach out and have you on the show is you have some events coming up. But last year, I'm not sure if you knew directly, but we had Mary Beth Atkins on,
Hmm.
and it was kind of a mind-blowing discussion when we talked about homelessness in the region.
Right.
When you think of homeless, you think of cities and people living under bridges and little tents and parks, and you don't think about the homelessness here. Wow, what a eye-opening discussion that really was. Kind of heartbreaking.
Good.
Um,
Good. I mean,
one
it is very heartbreaking.
one of the things we learned is based on that discussion we had, we our organization we started what's called Project our Operation Helping Hand, so that we could take donations from people in the form of clothes and food and bring down there to you guys in Norton. And she specifically said that to bring like women's clothing that they needed more so than men's, and specifically teenagers and young girls' clothing. And I mean, that's where you kind of pull a tear out of your eye, like, wow, what kind of existence and what's going on in these people's lives. You've
Right.
been down there working firsthand with abuse victims. Tell us a little bit about what you do there and just how you came into doing this 7 years ago.
I've been in the field for a little over 20 years. I feel like my whole life. I started in high school and I've just never stopped. Um, but I came here because I saw the position open and I was like, I want that job. It is the only agency in our surrounding area and even close to our neighboring states that provide the services that we provide. So, I felt very fortunate to have the opportunity to get in at that time. So I've been here ever since. And I've definitely seen increase increase in the trends that we work toward. What I do, I initially came on as an advocate for survivors of sexual and domestic violence. But as the agency has grown and things have shifted, and we all wear so many different hats. I feel like everybody here does at least 3 or 4 different jobs, but I continue to do advocacy for Wise County and the city of Norton. Um, I also help write grants. We also chair meetings. We provide support groups and take care of the individuals that are in our shelter. I work through the school systems and talk to our youth and provide presentations and counseling sessions as needed. So we do a lot of different things as such, and hopefully, when we get moved to our new location and we have more space, we can actually provide more programs that we will have space for. So that's something I'm really looking forward to do.
So you're moving from Norton. Is it up in Wise? You're just moving up
It
the road from
is.
Wise.
It's
Okay.
it's we're gonna be in the county, not in the city anymore. So and it's actually a very lovely location. It's kind of up on a hill and the individuals that come there are already it's not the best moment in their lives. They're not coming to us because they're happy. They're coming to us because they're coming from a place of abuse or trauma or down on their luck and they're homeless and addiction and so many different facets. But I feel like being up there will hopefully just the surroundings and seeing the mountains and that they're going to have this view and that's going to help give them maybe some peace to be able to move forward with their lives from that point. So it is a very nice area. I'm looking forward to moving there, and definitely we'll be able to provide more once we get there with the space. So that's exciting. Right now, we're all just trying to hang on and do the best that we can do.
So when are you moving to the new location?
Uh, we're hoping maybe to get there by August. I'm not 100% sure if that's still the timetable, but that's kind of what we're looking at least get there.
Now, when you mentioned earlier that you're the only organization in the region that handles this, and even so close to the state borders of Tennessee and Kentucky, and I guess though in West Virginia, just stone's
Yeah.
throw up the road too. That when I was talking last year, like I had no idea just the range that you guys out of Norton had. I mean, you're going all the way up to Floyd County. They're bringing people in from different areas up in that area down here for the
Mhm.
assistance and the help. And I had no clue that you served that big of an area. It was mind blowing to think that it's kind of like I kind of got afraid for people in a way because somebody that's from say Withville that doesn't know anybody in Norton gets brought down to Norton. It's like they're all alone in the situation they're already working with,
Mhm.
whether it's homelessness or drug abuse or a victim of sexual and physical abuse and assault. Especially if you're bringing a teenager or a teenage daughter. So that I actually reached out to a church in Bristol. It's like, hey, this is a situation, and we ended up getting like 3 boxes of women's clothing, just like big boxes to bring down. And we have to do this
You.
again. We have to do this again because, yeah, you said the situation just the trends are they getting worse or do you see anything improving? And how was it during COVID? That's another thing. Everybody was locked down.
Oh,
That
now
can't be good.
COVID,
That can't be good.
yeah, now that we're in 2023, so we've kind of got the numbers from 2020 and 21, and we can see, and it's an uptick every year. So COVID really brought out a lot of different situations of um, not just abuse and bad home life, that children were in constantly because there was no school, but also with the poverty because so many people lost their jobs and um, so many people kind of when they were like we're not going to cut your power off, and ODP did that stuff, which was great and wonderful, but um, if you have to choose between am I going to pay this bill or am I going to get groceries or am I going to pay the water bill or the power bill, and you know that your power is not going to get shut off, you're going to take care of your water. But then it adds up. So when they stopped that, there were a lot of people with really overwhelming balances on their bills, and that kind of led down a spiral. So while the intentions were good with what people were trying to do in COVID, it really did create some more havoc and whatnot. So we've seen a lot of people that have needed financial assistance to even stay in their homes and not be evicted. And that's another part of the programs that we provide is prevention services so you don't end up homeless, and we keep you in your house and work with you towards maintaining that. So we provide that service as well. And so COVID created a lot with every single program and every single service we provide.
So being a victim advocate, the history of the organization there, um, it started. I noticed it started in 1982 as I was reading the About Us section on your website. It actually started out as a hotline for domestic violence,
It
and it's
did that.
grown to what you are.
Right.
During the COVID lockdowns, do you know? I mean, I know you probably have confidentiality things you can't discuss, but like, how much of an uptick was there in just locally here in the coal fields of domestic violence? How much of an uptick did you see in that?
Yeah, our hotline numbers did increase, and not just for our 1-800 number, but also online as well, because we have chat options on our website. Um, you can also reach us on our Facebook page. And a lot of times in areas here, individuals may have a phone, but they don't have service to call. However, they can find a hotspot or Wi-Fi and reach out
Yeah.
that way. So that's how sometimes we get messages through people. That's why we try to make that available. So that increased as well as the hotline calls.
I'm glad to see so much Wi-Fi in the area more than we had, say, like 5 years ago. Because
Oh,
if you're at
definitely.
home, yeah, if you're at home and you're in a bad situation, you can't get on the computer or call somebody if your abuser is 5 feet away watching TV and having a cold beer, you know. But if you take the kids out quickly to McDonald's and I'll be right back, you can Wi-Fi. Hey, I'm in a situation, I need help,
Yeah, and
and people can be alerted to that.
that's definitely been helpful. There's still, we have transportation barriers here that other places, bigger cities don't see. Like we don't
Yeah,
have taxis, we don't have bus terminals here. We don't have that. We have one public transit option for our entire Lena area. Um, and you have to call a couple days in advance to even schedule a ride.
yeah,
So if you're in a crisis situation, that's that's not going to help. And so sometimes there's people that they're like, I don't have a way out. I don't have a ride. Um, and we try to work through those barriers as well.
yeah. And that's going to be tough to do because some people in those situations, they can't plan 2 days out. They can't plan 20 minutes ahead because of
Right.
the overbearing, just situation that they might be in. That's it's great work that you folks are doing down there. And I know this is what is this, the month where we bring awareness to domestic abuse?
Well, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So you can do the hashtag SAAM, and that's going to bring up a lot of different statistics, information, events. We use that hashtag, but um, we try to do something to bring it local, like Southwest Virginia and SAAM or Family Crisis Support Services, and do that so you can find us. So that is starting Saturday, and we always say we want to paint it teal because teal is the color of awareness. So if you have teal ribbons, or if you would like a teal ribbon, we will be happy to give you one to put on your place of business or
Mhm.
agency, even at home. We have small ribbons that you can wear if you have places, meetings, workshops, or anything that you want to go. But we do have a couple of events that I would like to share. You can go on the Facebook page to find these links and whatnot as well. So you can just look up Family Crisis Support Services on Facebook, and everything will be right there. But on the 15th of April, we have a 5K planned, and it's going to be held at the Big Stone Gap Visitor Center. And the 5K goes around the Greenbelt. Um, but we're going to have some different info booths set up there. 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to start. The race starts at 9. It's going to be a color run. So we're going to have color explosion. Um, and we're going to have award giveaways afterward, door prizes, music. There's a lot of wonderful places where you can stop afterward and get yourself a boba tea and
Yeah.
uh, whatever you'd want. After you ran and did your exercise, you can stop at the bakery and get you a cinnamon bun. I mean, I feel like it all balances out, okay? And it's really, really good. So there's lots of goodies close by in Big Stone Gap, and that's a beautiful area of our region to come
Oh,
by and
yeah.
visit. So,
Great down there.
um,
Yeah.
but I've got the link. I think I've got the link up on the website. If not, I can add it on there, but I feel like I added it the other day. So you can register for the race, pay for everything. You're going to get a t-shirt, so you can email me and let me know what size you want. And we can get things taken care of
Yeah.
that way.
You had the link up on the website. I saw that. And
Okay.
for those that are listening, Angel, when we're finished, if you want to email me the link, also, I
Okay.
will post it up so that when you're listening to this podcast, you just look down in the notes or like the description of the show. I'll have the link down there for anybody that wants to click on it from the podcast. So make it a little easier for you to click on it and check it out. I did notice
Great.
that on the flyer that you sent, it's called a race in their shoes.
Yes.
For those that don't know, I had to look this up, but a 5K, don't be intimidated. It's about 3 miles.
No, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
So,
And the $25, that includes the t-shirt. And if you have teams of 4 to 6 people, if you have a church or another organization and you want to
right.
represent teams of 4 to 6, it's $60. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we kind of made a deal because that's just a walking group if you don't want to run and do the race, but you want to be a part of it and help in some way and walk it. And a lot of people around here, they know when you say the green belt, so they know what that is.
Yeah.
So it's not this horribly challenging up and down obstacle course. It's um kind of pretty level. So if you have aches and pains or knee problems like yours truly, it's going to be a good walk.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good walk. And if you're just lightly jogging, you can probably get through the same 45 minutes,
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
definitely.
um so it's not that bad, but it sounds like it's gonna be a fun event. Hopefully you have a lot of people out
I hope so.
at this.
We hope to see everybody. Like I said, we're going to have different info booths and they're going to have their swag bags for giveaways and we're going to have door prizes. Mountain Rose Vineyards, which is our
Yes.
local winery, they're going to donate some stuff to us. They're wonderful to work with, and um, so we're going to have a lot of good community collaboration going on. And the main thing is, we're not only raising awareness for victims, but we are honoring those survivors, and
Yeah.
we honor those survivors and saying, you have overcome and you're here. And we do have a lot of survivors that will come and do the walk. Um, and that's amazing just to see how far people come and to see the resilience and the strength of just human beings when at their worst they feel like they can't go on, but then they get right back up. Um, and people that have come here with nothing and they are homeless and they're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. And then a year from that point they've moved into their own place and they've gotten a job and life is going good, and you'll see them out or they'll message you, and say, I just wanted to say thank you for all that you've done. And I definitely don't do the job for a pat on the back because you shouldn't. If you're in this field, you should do it just because you have that helper's heart. But I love to have people reach out to me and say, I'm doing this, and I have got this, and I've started it. And it's amazing just to see people come back and do good.
It's I love seeing people succeed. And I
I
talk to
do.
people about that all the time. And I think just as a side note, like just seeing you guys are doing the Lord's work down there. You really are. And it's just sort of my personal opinion, but people that have walked through some of the darkest places in life are usually the ones who shine the brightest light.
They
And
do.
and
They really do. And the people that don't have a darn thing would give you the last quarter in their pocket.
yeah,
And, you know, th- for someone to say, I'm broken, and they feel like they're just so down, but they would still give you the last thing that they had. It just shows you just how beautiful people are. And it's not what you've gone through. And I always tell this to people, that does not define you, what you have gone through. That may shape where you go and how you look at things, but that does not define who you are.
yeah.
And so these awareness events, while they're fun and it's great, it also just stresses the importance that we need to honor just people. We need to honor human beings and say you have survived, and let them share their stories, let them share their testimonies. and and so somebody may see that that's going through something, and it's like, wow, I thought I was alone, and it may help them. So that's why we do that. Another event that we have going on the following Friday, the 21st, is called Coffee and Consent.
Yes.
That's at our local Lincoln Road Coffee Lounge here in Norton. They are wonderful people, so wonderful to work with. The coffee is amazing, and they have
Where
extended
is that
service.
at?
It is
Where's Lincoln
downtown
Road?
Norton, Park Avenue, downtown Norton.
Okay, I've been down there. I've never noticed. I've driven past there. I don't know how
Oh,
many
you're
times.
gonna have to come by and try it.
I still have yet to try the wood booger grill.
Okay,
I've got,
listen, you let me know when you're coming to town, and I will take you around to all the good places.
yeah, I'm down there probably once every other month anyway, because I know the folks there at ARC TV,
Yeah.
and if we're lucky, maybe I send these videos to them so they can edit and put on ARC TV if they so choose. So if you want, I can
Okay. Yeah, I know
uh,
those folks there. So,
get Ernie Binko.
good old Ernie.
Um, but yeah, I guess I wanted to. I'll go ahead about the how many people do you expect to show at the coffee shop?
Well, I would love to see 100 or more. We're gonna start that morning.
Wow.
What we do is we kind of set up in their lounge area, and we'll do Facebook discussions and different things.
Okay.
Kind of gonna be there all day, and I mean, they've always been so kind and helpful, but they have started doing like evening music. They've built a little area outside. So we're actually going to just keep that party rocking until the evening, and we're going to have some music. I'm lining up musicians, local artists right now, and so we're going to have some music. We're going to have some um poetry readings of survivors that want to share.
Okay.
And so it's just going to be a wonderful day of just, I'd like to call it healing as well for people. So um just but a good day with a local agent, with a local business that um is sharing their space for us to bring this. And the coffee and consent, we kind of came up with that, just talking about what consent looks like, and what consent is, and answering some questions, and trying to address all the things that are relevant to the people in our area, and giving them the resources that they need and want. And working with all the other allied professionals, and they always come by. So it's just a good day all the way around. So those are the two
Yeah.
big events that we have for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But during the whole month, I like to let everybody know that if you ever need to talk, that's what I'm here for. That's my job. I am 24/7 on call with this hotline number via Facebook. So if there's ever a time that anybody wants to talk about any experience they've had and moving forward from that, we are available to talk and help you work through it, and give you resources to continue that journey of moving forward.
Well, keep up the good work. Now, on your website, there is a donate tab on there. So if
Mhm.
anybody wants to go to the Family Crisis Center website, you can certainly donate that
Yes.
there. It's family-crisis.org, and you'll see the donate tab at the top of the screen. Another thing that we do as a foundation, we have a very big, broad mission, so that if we can actually support other organizations with donations. So if anybody that's listening wants to, if you don't go there and donate, if you want to donate to us and request that we use it toward our Operation Helping Hand, then we work directly with the crisis center. We make those donations, in-kind donations, and we can do cash donations as well. So, yeah, the in-kind is nice. I think we're going to be the next thing we're going to be doing is raising uh, food, like canned goods and things like that, and things that people can need, like easily pop top cans and types of foods
Yes.
that people can use that don't need a can opener. Obviously, or just things like
Thank
that,
you. That you're
and then
amazing for that. Thank
and
you.
then whatever funds that we get, we go buy other things that may be necessary and needed,
Yeah.
or we could do a cash donation. So you can find us at just supportappalachia.org and make a donation through there. And as you make the donation, you can leave the comment Operation Helping Hand, and we'll know to designate all that. So 100% of your donation goes to the. We have very little overhead, and I pay for most of it, and none of us take any salary. So we're all just all of us that are involved in the organization. We're just volunteer. So.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Well, we try. We all have full-time jobs, so it's kind of like we try to piecemeal some things we can do,
Right.
and but yeah, we don't. I was never comfortable with donating to an organization, realizing that they only had to spend 5 to 10% on the actual cause, and they could spend the rest on overhead and salaries and things like that. And, it's like so. I was always cautious about where I would send money,
Of
but
course.
I mean, of course, like things like cancer research and St. Jude's. I mean, the heartbreaker things we do. I do that. Our
Right.
family does.
Right.
But as far as what you guys are doing, it's like I said, you're doing the Lord's work down there, and I know it can't be easy on any of you individually to hear some of these heartbreaking stories. So you probably carry a lot of stress and baggage from that. So I hope you guys have great friends and great networks and families to kind of help you be a support there too, because this is not
Oh
an easy
yeah.
thing you guys do.
Self-care is super important in this field, and I tell that to everybody. You've got to take care of yourself because you can't help other people if you're up to here and you can't
Yeah,
go anymore. So you got to take care of yourself. I like to sing, so I'll just jam out and sing, and
crank
that's
up
my
the
stress
journey,
relief.
crank up the *80s music. Just this little aside as you come on. Before we start recording, I had my Alexa. I'm not going to say her name, but I had that jamming down my '80s, and I was like, "All right, I'm waiting for a Don't Stop Believing." That could be a theme song for you guys down there. Make these people
I
run the
like
race to that song.
that's yeah. When that comes on, you can't help but sing along and
Everybody sings. Yeah,
can't help it.
I love it when you go to a ball game and you hear everybody singing that. It's so funny. But Angel, I want to thank you for your time. I certainly appreciate it. Keep up the great work, and next time I'm down that way, I'll certainly let you guys know, and hopefully I'll have something to drop
Yes.
off for you guys. And it is spring, so things kind of thaw out, things get a little bit more active. So we'll see where
That's
things.
right. That's
And
right.
if
Well,
you don't
thank you.
mind,
Go
when you
ahead.
guys,
I'm sorry. I
if you
told
don't
you I will
mind,
talk your ear off all day.
that's all right. I got 2 ears. I can lose one. So if while you guys are at the race, if you don't mind sharing photos, I will put that on our website, and then we'll link that over to your website.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. We'll do it.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Where can if people need to contact you or the organization? Well, you have the Facebook page and the website. Where how else can they get up with
We do. They can call me directly at 276-679-7240 and just ask for Angel. Or you can email me, don't mind a bit, at a Mefford, A-M as in mouse, E, F as in Frank, F as in Frank, O-R-D, at family-crisis.org. The family-crisis is just like our webpage if you go to it, family-crisis.org. So
you? Yeah.
yeah, anything you need, you guys just message me anytime or call me.
Well, I hope everyone who's listening or watching has a great life and just wants to reach out and help. But if things are wrong, you know who to contact, and let us know. And we'll certainly offer up our thoughts and prayers too, because things, life gets tough for people, and there's no shame in struggle, but there's a lot to be gained on the other side. So just don't lose hope.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Appalachian Shine. I think we're up to almost 90 episodes now, something like that. So uh, we'll be back. We'll have other guests. We'll have other topics to talk about. In the meantime, make sure you check out the Family Crisis website. sign up for that run, and let's help these folks do some good work. Thanks again. We'll see you on down the road.